Ed says, what do you think about EPR? Will it turn the corner? They're talking about EPR Properties. Ticker symbol is EPR. They are the entertainment REIT. They invest in, they're a big Topgolf landlord. They have some ski resorts, a lot of those indoor water parks, and unfortunately, these days, movie theaters. EPR got they're not a heavily shorted stock, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They got a big lift last week because AMC is their biggest tenant. And AMC got a big lift last week and is really, honestly, out of all the short squeeze stocks, AMC is doing the best job of taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah.
I know they raised capital at least once last week. I said GameStop's insane if they don't sell new shares at $300 a pop.
I'm not sure why they're not doing that. I can't figure that out. Maybe they just know they know. They're probably like, we're really.
Well, I get it, but I mean, AMC has to know that it's not worth $20 a share.
Yeah.
But they're still doing some secondary raises and things like that to whittle down their debt.
Yeah.
And I mean, well, earlier in the week, they said bankruptcy's off the table, which is kind of what led to them being involved in the short squeeze, in my opinion. A lot of people said they were going to go bankrupt. They've now raised enough money they don't have to. And now they're able to sell shares at like 5 times what they're worth to be able to pay down their debt. That's a pretty fortunate environment. They're doing a good job of taking advantage. So that's why you're seeing EPR get this nice lift because AMC is all of a sudden looking like it's not going to go bankrupt. And not only that, but they're looking like they're in better financial shape than we would have originally thought. So that EPR is getting a lift because of that. I think EPR will be just fine long-term. People want to get out and do stuff, and that's kind of what their whole business is based around. Their balance sheet looks great. They have a ton of cash on hand. They have enough money that even at the March and April 2020 rent collection rates, they could have lasted for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And their rent collections picked up considerably since then. So EPR, their business is doing fine. There's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to the movie theater portion of their portfolio, even now that we know AMC is not going bankrupt. Yeah. Are people still going to go to movie theaters as much as before?
What do you think about that? Do you think people will?
I want to see what happens after 2021, because in 2021, you're going to see a lot of movies get released direct to consumer, like through HBO Max, for example. Yeah. They're already planning a bunch of direct releases. Disney Plus is another one doing that. So if that continues, then movie theaters may take a hit long term. And I want to see movie theaters really repurpose their space. And I see Brian, and I'll shut up in a second to let him talk. But I want to see movie theaters really it's insane that movie theaters haven't figured out how to host like live sporting events there. Like why you can't have a Super Bowl party at your AMC. That would fill every seat, or a UFC party or something like that. Like repurpose the space to do other things that people want to gather and watch. Don't just show movies. So on purpose,
they gotta get involved in esports in some way. That would sell out stadiums.
Have like a massive like esports, esports night once a week at your local AMC. That would put a ton of people in the seats.
Yep.
So I mean, I don't know why the movie theater industry hasn't done a better job of pivoting. Hopefully 2020 kind of scares them into doing it.